Welcome to the session on Azure Media Services. I am Sundar Rajan and I am going to take you through a basic introduction on what is Azure Media Services. Azure Media Services is a solution for media delivery. When it comes to media delivery, it's about delivering the media, like let's say video files or audio files. Many organizations go ahead and deliver media through the web internet. Now they have multiple challenges. How do they store the media? Where do they store the media? Where do they get all the resources to store the media? It could be simple. At present, many people go ahead and store media in the cloud storage similar to Azure blob storage. Now it's not only about the storage, it's about the processing that has to be performed to the media. The media is not just served in a raw manner. What happens is it has to be encoded, it has to be encrypted, then some DRM rights has to be applied on it, then transcoded to the appropriate delivery format, and then finally comes the media delivery, either through the streaming or making it available for the download. Now all this requires extensive computing power. Let's take an example of YouTube. So many videos get uploaded at any point of time, and if so many videos has to be stored, processed and delivered, it needs a solution at the cloud scale. Azure Media Services enables every organization utilize the cloud scale for their media delivery. Currently, Azure Media Services provides an end-to-end solution for the media delivery. The media that is uploaded to the media services is automatically stored in the blob storage. Then there are already certain set of standard tasks available in the media services which helps you transcode, encode and also do some DRM protection on your media. Now once you upload the media, all you have to do is create jobs with the particular steps and then submit them so that those get executed on those files in the cloud. Some standard encoders and encryptions are already available as part of your media services SDK. As a final step, streaming enabled delivery is readily made available. Currently, it supports on-demand streaming and it's going to support live streaming in the next versions. And this is how, on a high level, the architecture looks like. Windows Azure Media Services has the first step is ingestion of the media. When it comes to ingestion of the media, it's about uploading the media and then encrypting it. Then comes the multiple jobs, which includes encoding and format conversion, then the content protection part of it, and finally the streaming part of it. All these can be performed at the media services level in the cloud, or only some of these steps can be chosen to perform in the cloud and the remaining steps could be performed on your premises based on your convenience. The Azure Media Services workflow looks like this. You upload a media, then it gets processed, then finally it gets delivered. When you upload a media, you can upload a single file or multiple files. All these uploads are grouped into a single group called assets. Whatever you upload at a single shot becomes a single asset. Then the processing media. Now you can go ahead and submit jobs for each of the asset to transcode it, to encode it, to make it play ready protected, or to make it readily available for smooth streaming. And so there are a set of jobs that are already available, and the documentation clearly specify the preset strings that you have to give to the job creation API so that it does the appropriate job. Then finally the delivery part of it. So once you process the media, you get a reference to the locator or the URL of the media that needs to be streamed or downloaded, and that can be used for further purposes. Before starting with it, how do you set up a media services? Go to windows.azure.com, sign up for the media services, then go ahead, create a storage account in Azure in the US East region at this point of time, because that's the only region that's supported currently. Then you will have a set of instructions which helps you set up the Azure Media Services account using some PowerShell scripts. What this basically does is link up your storage account to your Azure Media Services account and gives you back the Media Services account key and the account name. all you need in terms of coding, in terms of using the media services client SDK, is this account key and the account name. Let's go ahead and see how we go ahead and create a simple asset and upload it to the Azure Media Services. The first step is to go ahead and create a cloud media context. Even before that, if you could see, I have added two references, Microsoft.windowsazure.mediaservices.client and then management SDK. Management SDK is not needed, while media services.client is something that is very much required for this application to work. The cloud media context takes two parameters. The constructor takes two parameters, the account name and the account key, which you got as at the last step during the Azure Media Services setup. Then once you get the cloud media context, you can go ahead and upload a single asset. Here, this is what I am doing here. So all I do is context.assets.create of the particular file path, which is nothing but your local path where the file resides, and that's it. What it does is it goes ahead, creates a asset in the Azure Media Services server, uploads the file to it, and then returns you back the asset ID. Now you can also go ahead and upload multiple files as a single asset. In this case, you use a different API, which is create from directory instead of just create, and then specify the folder where all your media files are residing, and also a primary file path, which is the starting file path. Once you do this, it goes ahead and uploads all the files and then gives you back as the asset ID, which is a collection of all the files. Now then you can enumerate through the files in the asset by calling for each file in the asset.files and displaying it here. Now this explains a very simple step as to how do you go ahead and upload assets from your local machine. Now there are also ways to use third-party mechanisms to upload the files, like Aspera. We will discuss it as part of a separate session. In the next session, we will discuss about how to encode and transcode the assets that we have uploaded in the current session. Thank you.